What's up, everybody else in the money here? Holy shit. I know what you guys are thinking. You're looking, holy shit, dude, you're up 40 grand overnight. Unfortunately, I am, but I'm not. I did sell these Meta in the money calls. Obviously, who knew Meta was going to break out 11 or 12%? If I could have predicted that, I obviously would have sold out of the money calls to gain a lot of that upside potential. But I wanted to play it safe. Because if Meta would have went the other way, I would be like down 30 or 40 grand, and that is a lot of risk. But as you guys see, I have 500 shares, up a total of almost $29,000 on the position. Insane. Unfortunately, when the market opens, I'm only going to be up about 25 to 2,800 on this position. But just looking at this $40,000 overnight is insane to me. My thoughts on this, I'm not upset at all. Obviously, it would have been really cool to be up 40 grand in one single day. But I trade specifically for what am I trying to say? I trade for consistency. And being consistent is the most important thing as a trader, right? Because yeah, you could hit this, and if I felt like, oh my gosh, man, you know what? I'm not going to do that next time. And then I'd play earnings again, and I played a little more risky where I sell out of the money calls or even at the money. And what if the stock tanks 5-10%? Now I'm stuck holding the stock down 10%, and all I did was collect a little bit of premium. Now I'm stuck bag holding the shares. I'd never want to be in that position. If I did get put in that position today, wouldn't really be too worried because I would have collected like 29,000 in premium, so it wouldn't have been too bad. So there's my cost basis. Here's what I'm selling the shares at, 500. That gives me a $27,000 loss. And then if you look at what I made from the covered calls, that is a 29,600. So it's about a $2,500 trade. And then obviously I have a couple other trades that I made as well. I did close my SoFi puts out after earnings, closed them for $1 each because there was no point. It was Tuesday, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna wait, all week for $3. So I go ahead and bought those back, and then I put that money right back to work on Meta. This is a put credit spread. So these are sold puts or short puts, however you want to say it. And this is the strat. It will be in the money covered calls. But I did put credit spreads for probably the very first time in this, since I've been keeping track of this since May 2nd. And I did it on Meta, very, very conservative. It was a 1% return on my money. I put a 12,500, which I know is a lot to risk on credit spreads. But I think I did it at 590. So like the stock would have had to fell $110 from where it was trading right before it closed. And I still you make 1% on your money. So I made 125 off of $12,500, which I thought was a pretty good investment. That is right here. Yeah. So I did the 590 to 585. And those will be, I'm just going to let these expire because I don't want to buy these back for $25 or whatever. The fills are terrible on spreads. So I'm just going to let the spreads expire. Unless I can buy back for $1, then I'll put that money back to work. But, yeah, so I am up 40,000, but I'm grateful that I placed a winning trade and, I think I'm set to make, let me go back to the spreadsheet. So if we go over to total, August 1st, which are when all these contracts expire, we're set to make 28.17, and that is almost a 2% return in 1 week. 2% return in 1 week is equivalent to, I think it's around 130% annualized. I know 1% a week is about 60% annualized. So, 2% a week, if that's like 120, 130% annualized, who wouldn't want to make that in a week, So I'm grateful that I'm even in this position to be doing these trades. $2,800 in a single week is a lot of money to me. And I'm very happy that I was able to come out successfully on this trade. This is my biggest week so far. I've had a 24, I've had an 18, and I've had another 24. So 28 will be my biggest week. Now, I still do have one position. So SoFi's closed. Meta is, 100, over 100 out the money now. So we're pretty safe on Meta, pretty safe on this. I still do have an Amazon put. Got $154 credit, and it is a 220 put. Let's go back over to Amazon. Amazon does earnings tomorrow, I believe. Let's go. Yes, so Amazon and Apple, big two reporters tomorrow after the close. Meta, another reason I beat Meta, or not, I didn't beat Meta. Another reason I bet on Meta is because, first of all, they've beaten revenue 14 out of the last 17 times. That's an insane record. And not only do they beat by a lot. EPS beat by, that was a beat. That's not revenue. That's not EPS growth. That is, they beat analyst expectations by over 21%. That's insane. To be that big of a company and beating expectations by 21%, that's wild to me. And also beating by almost 3 billion or 6%. Absolutely insane. Let's see if I can show the estimates. Yeah, like look at this. Oh my God, this is on the way. If you see it, like absolutely crushing those bubbles for these, at least since 2023. Absolutely dominating. So, and on top of that, if you want to go to the Bollinger Bands, Meta was already trading at the bottom of the Bollinger Band, right? So even if they did break below, I placed my trade for right here. They wouldn't be down there for too long because this Bollinger Band would go through the Bollinger Band. And like I've said before, whenever a stock breaks outside of the Bollinger Band, it's not for very long. Like usually 3 days at max, and then it comes right back into the Bollinger Band. So I like selling stocks. Not selling stocks. I like selling puts and selling in the money covered calls when stocks are touching the bottom of the Bollinger Band, because the risk to reward ratio is a lot better, right? It's more likely to go up than down. And the RSI was in the middle. Like right now it's around 44 to 50. I don't know if this RSI is exactly right. Let me go to Webull and see what it was. I like using Webull for the RSI. Okay, Webull says 44 as well. So I guess it's 44. So RSI is kind of low, and we're at the bottom of the Bollinger Band. That was just like a no-brainer trade to me. But if you look at Amazon, obviously the opposite is happening, right? Amazon's at the top. I traded Amazon really because I had some more capital, and honestly, a lot of stocks are trading at the top of the Bollinger Bands. We got Google trading at the top. We have Amazon. I even think the S&P and the Qs are freaking trading at the top. We have a lot of like up here. So risk to reward ratio is not that great or favorable for a lot of these, especially the RSI is at 72. So we're overbought. And at the top of the Bollinger Bands. Not a good combination. So Amazon, there's a very good chance I could get assigned. I sold 220, so right around here. It'll be near the bottom of the Bollinger Band. Amazon's trading. Oh wow, Amazon is at 238 after hours, up almost 3.5%. We might not get assigned on Amazon. Actually, we might be able to just collect that. That's insane. I did, I guess Meta and Microsoft had just pushed the market with it. But yeah, guys, what could have been, right? What could have been. But like I said, I'm not really too worried about it. I like making consistent gains. And there's a reason. I've been profitable every single week since May 2nd. I couldn't even tell you how many weeks that is. It's at least probably 12, 14 weeks. I've been 100% successful doing these in the money covered calls and selling puts where the Bollinger Bands are near the bottom. I've been every single day or every single week I become 100% cash again, right? So I'm going to sell these Meta shares and I'm going to collect the Amazon premium and get my capital back, and the same thing with the credit spreads. So this weekend I will be back to 100% cash. So if any chaos happens over the weekend or the market tanks pre-market Monday, it's not going to bother this portfolio. And we are almost up $20,000 since I have started this on May 2nd, which is awesome. But yeah, what a crazy week. It's just insane to me, honestly. Like, being able to make 2,800 in a week just blows my mind. It's insane. But as the portfolio, guys, it's gonna drop down to probably like, I don't know, 144 in the morning or so. So, and I put a little bit of money. I putting around 2,000 every single month into this portfolio. I'm trying to push it really hard for the next year and a half. Then I will move back to my hometown, and hopefully, I really want this to be over 300,000 by then. So we're at 145. I'm trying to give myself like a year and a half to basically double the portfolio. So 300K by, I guess you could say, like January 2027 is the goal. So I have another spreadsheet that I'm kind of keeping track of everything on. Well, I'm not sure where it is. I guess I have to give myself access again through my email. But yeah, guys, that's the video. Insane after hours, but like I said, we're still getting that $2,800 or almost 2% in a week, which is my goal. 1% a week consistently. I've been doing this for 14 weeks consistent. And that's how we do things. We play it safe. We hedge our portfolios. And if you look year to date, I started it right here. Look at that consistency. Obviously, don't mind this, but it says 40% year to date. That's insane. I think I'm like 10 or 11. Yeah, so I'll probably be at like 143 in the morning, a little over 11%. But that consistency line, you can see here a lot of volatility. And then I started trading very consistent. So that's the goal with this portfolio, is just to be consistent. I don't want any crazy volatile moves or anything like that. But guys, thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Peace.